Hey everybody, it's Ann Kaplan from Mom Me and Ann Kaplan Childbirth Services here with you again. It's Thursday. That means there's only 1 week until the mini workshop that I'm going to be talking about at the end of this video. But today what I really want to share with you guys is some super juicy inner game stuff that's been coming to me, and you know what? The more that you grow, the more that I grow, the more that I realize how much more I have to grow. And this was a huge one for me. So just ask yourself, like, have you ever had a limiting belief that's going on in your life, and it's so fundamental to who you are that you don't even realize that you believe it. You don't even realize that it's a part of who you are until something just like brings it to the surface, and you're just like, oh my God, that's what I think, that's what I believe. That's what's going on for me right now. And of course, as always, it's my kids who have been the ones to lift the veil from my eyes. They're such little angels that way, little blessings, little gifts from heaven. So it might surprise you guys to know that I have a really horribly limiting self-belief, and it's really toxic, and it's totally poisoning me and my family right now as we speak. And that limiting belief, I bet you're going to be surprised when you hear what it is. My limiting belief is that it was never my role in life to be a successful professional and have a career outside the home. That's my belief, and I didn't know that I believed that, and I obviously intellectually realize that that's crazy, but I'm realizing as I'm interacting with my kids and trying to work and be home with my kids this summer, I had to dig really deep to realize, like, I believe that. That's what I really believe, even though I don't want to believe that, and it is totally holding me back. So while I'm pushing myself in my business and trying so hard to be successful in my practice, I'm also being totally crushed under the weight of this horrible guilt I feel that I'm not living the life that I'm supposed to be living, and that I'm shirking my responsibilities as a mom, as a wife, as a homemaker, whatever. It just has felt to me like I feel guilty for doing that. And when I'm working, it's taking time away from my family. It's taking time away from my real job of running my home and taking care of my kids. And it's also putting the work that I'm not doing on other people in my family, my kids, and also my partner, of course. And it just feels like having a successful business is a self-indulgence. We don't need the money. I'm taking away from the things that I should be doing. And frankly, it's just selfish for me to have a job and have a career and want something more outside my home. Now, obviously, we all know that that's crazy talk. But knowing something and actually believing it about yourself are two very different things. And that's what I'm grappling with this summer. And how my kids managed to show this to me is that now that they're home and I'm working around them all the time, I'm getting comments like, Mom, you're on your phone again, or you're on your computer, you just were on your computer. Or the best one, the one that really got me last week, one of my kids came up to me and said, you just worked for a whole hour, Mom, and now you have to work again? And that's when I was just like, psh, freak you guys. And I was like, do you know how many hours a week your dad works? Daddy works 45 hours a week. And I'm getting this guilt trip because I want to work 3 hours a day. Like, it's not too much to ask, you guys. Like, come on. And I really was alternating between feeling super guilty and super defensive and super mad. Like, you know, forget you guys. Like, I have the right to work, you know. And then I took a step back and was like, well, wait a second. Why am I feeling so defensive and angry if I know I'm not doing anything wrong? My kids aren't making me feel guilty. I don't have to feel that way when they say that stuff to me, but I am feeling that way. Why? And it took me on this horrible, you know, black hole spiral of like realizing what was going on with me, and it's totally insane. So I'm realizing through this whole thing that all the stuff that we talk about, work-life balance, self-care, this and this, I think those are all red herrings. What we're really talking about is mom guilt. I have mom guilt about working. I'm not even trying to do something like self-indulgent, like get a massage or a pedicure. Oh, heaven forfend. I'm just trying to have a job. I just want to have a career, and I feel guilty about it. That's crazy. And I'm realizing this common theme of all these parents that I'm working with. This mom guilt is the most insidious, toxic thing that is going on in families right now. And I'm going to share with you guys how I'm trying to get out from under it and what I'm doing. That's just a couple simple switches that I'm making to really try to shift my feeling, because my behavior already is, forget you guys, I'm going to work. But do I feel it? No, and that means that I'm crabby bitch mommy all the time, frankly. So here are the 2 switches that I've been working on, and I want you to try it too. And it doesn't have to be about work at all. It can be about anything in your life that you're feeling guilt about. The first one is an inner game thing. I want you to start talking to yourself the way that you would talk to your best girlfriend. So if you're talking to one of your best gal pals and she's telling you how awful she feels because she left her family to go and have coffee with you, or she missed her kid's recital because she had a work obligation, do you agree with her? No, of course you don't. You tell her she's crazy and that she's a badass and she deserves to take care of herself. And then you support her and you encourage her. And why do you do that? Do you guys know why you do that? It's because you're telling her the stuff that you wish someone would tell you. And it's called empathy. You have empathy. That's why you're saying that stuff to her. But the other thing that's really helpful about knowing that is that you're telling her the stuff that you want to hear. That's a little yellow flag to you of like, oh wait, what I'm saying to my friend is what I need. That's not what I need in my life. That's what I want, and that's what I deserve. And if you can muster up that empathy for your girlfriend when she's telling you the exact same feelings that you're struggling with yourself, you need to get yourself on that bandwagon. You need to give yourself that same empathy and recognize that your friend isn't the only one who needs all of that stuff. You need it too. It's a little inner game switch of like literally picture that you're talking to your girlfriend when you're talking to yourself. You're not talking to you. You're not saying, oh, you lazy, or come on, stop working and just shut your computer down so that you can be with your kids, or how dare you take a nap in the afternoon? Your son needs you to read him a story or whatever. You would never say that to a friend. So don't say it to yourself. And the second little change is an outer game change. And that is literally, my advice to you is quit multitasking. Moms, we're the queens of multitasking, right? No, we're just ruining our lives with this multitasking. I'm telling you, trying to do everything at once just makes you feel like you're neglecting everything, you're half-assing everything, but you still feel like you're working your ass off constantly. Like, that's a horrible way to feel, and that's how we feel all the time when we're multitasking. Instead, I want you to quit it with the multitasking. Set time aside in your day for all the things that you need and want to do. It's okay for you to want stuff, and make those things happen. I want you to set that time aside and make those things happen for yourself without any shame or guilt, and do the things that you need to do to make it happen. Get the support, get the help, get the tools you need to actually accomplish what you need to do in the day without multitasking. So prime example is myself. Like, what was making me go crazy and my kids go crazy was that I was trying to work in the house with the kids with me. I was constantly working and momming at the same time. It was a freaking nightmare, and I felt just like that. I felt like I was half-assing everything and working my ass off all the time. It sucked. And you guys, we can't do all the things all the time. That's just not humanly possible. So, you know, this little shift for me, it might seem minor to you. Oh, change the way you talk to yourself and stop multitasking. And yes, it's just the tip of the iceberg, but I can tell you from experience, just those 2 little changes in the last week and a half for me have completely transformed my summer with my children. I am actually crushing it at work right now, and I'm enjoying my summer for the first time all summer long. Hello, it's almost August, and I'm finally figuring out how to have a good summer. Like, oh my God. So, you know, what did I do? I made a rule for myself that I was going to work in the morning outside of my house without my kids, and then I ponied up the money to hire the babysitter that I felt guilty about hiring to make it happen for myself. And guess what? Now I'm crushing it at work. I come home before lunch and I mom the crap out of the rest of my day, and I don't feel guilty because I did what I needed to do for work, and I'm really super present with my kids and actually like them and stuff like that. Like, whoa, what a novel concept, right? And it's totally transformed my life, and it was completely worth the $8 an hour that I'm paying, you know, the neighbor girl to watch my kids. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't have the money to do that, or I don't have the need for that, or I don't have room, or I don't have the luxury of doing these things this way, I want you to dig a little bit deeper, because I bet that you'll discover that guilt is the real foundation underlying the reasons why you're not taking care of yourself. And I mean, ask yourself this, like, if we didn't feel mom guilt, would we really have to force ourselves to do the things that we need to do and want to do? I mean, self-care things that are so simple, like getting a haircut, going to the chiropractor, getting our teeth cleaned, for God's sakes. You know how many clients I have who haven't gone to the dentist because they just feel like they can't leave their kids? I mean, OMG, let alone doing things super self-indulgent like talking to a therapist or having a life coach or working on your nutrition. And then, I mean, forget about things like getting a pedicure or a massage or something like that. Like, would we really have to force ourselves to do those things? Or how about all the work-life red herring stuff that's going on? You know, like, oh, how many people feel like they're doing a bad job at home and a bad job at work? Come on, you guys, you know that's not true. You're nailing it at both things as much as any mere mortal could possibly do, and you're just using that guilt to make you feel like you're a failure. The feelings that you have are not based on your actual performance. They're coming from this sense of guilt that you have underneath. So I want you to really experiment and dig deep on that stuff with the guilt. And just these little changes have made such a huge difference for me. And feeling ashamed and guilty about what I'm trying to do with my life is completely wasting these gifts that I have to share with people. I love helping parents feel empowered, easeful, peace, less frazzled, all of those things. That's what my gifts are. And to feel guilty about trying to pursue that is really just robbing me and a bunch of other moms from actually being able to feel like badasses. And, you know, it's completely robbing everybody in my life, because I'm also a real crankpot when I hold myself back and feel guilty all the time. So if you guys feel like you want this kind of transformation, that's what I'm working on all the time with Mom Me, and that's what I'm going to be working on Thursday. It's only 1 week away, you guys. A week from today, Thursday night, I'm going to be wining and dining 10 mamas, and we are going to be working on a mini workshop called Crafting Your Compass, a Balanced Mama mini workshop, where we're really going to be working on these things, dropping the mom guilt, figuring out how to navigate the challenges of parenthood, and how to feel like yourself when you're parenting instead of like you're a round peg forced into a square hole. So check it out, you guys. I'm going to put a link in the comments below to the event. It's only $20. And because you watch this video, if you use the promo code BALANCE, you get $5 off this already super affordable event. 2 hours of your life. Look what I did today, you guys. I'm going to show you. Ooh, look at all this wine I bought. Oh, it's the most essential ingredient of my workshop. Don't you want to drink it? You should come to my workshop. I'm going to put that link in the comments below, you guys. I want you to have an amazing day, and I want to see you on Thursday. Bye.